My name is Dan Beery, VP of Product and Strategy Development for Solimar Software. When it comes to production, downtime is frown time, or should I say unplanned downtime. This presentation presents some pointers on how to minimize unplanned downtime, errors, and instability in your production environment. It's not going to give you all the answers you need for your environment, but I'm hoping it'll get you thinking about the topic more. Solimar Support and Solimar University Online are great resources that can help you refine your plans. A good place to start is to discuss what we mean by environment. An environment is all of the hardware, software, applications, and connectivity configured to execute all of the operations in your workflow. There are a number of different environments that are used for production and in support of production. Production is, of course, the environment used to produce all of your work. It is very clean, high performance, and it must be protected from changes that create instability or introduce errors or failures. Things like automatic upgrades are not okay here. No changes can be made to the system without testing them first in a non-prod environment. A standby system is an exact duplicate of your production system that stands ready to shoulder your production work at any time in case of production down situation. It is a production environment, so all of the same rules apply. Staging systems are a clean mirror of the production system. Your staging system is where you apply things like upgrades and patches. Applications are tested in staging to determine if they work. Once all of the changes have been tested and pass regression testing, they can be applied to the production server. At the end of this process, staging and production should be identical, protected environments. Dev test systems are the daily drivers for staff who are charged with maintaining existing jobs or developing new jobs for production. They may have development tools, debugging tools, and other software that can cause instability, impact performance, or otherwise jeopardize production. These are messy systems, so they can't be relied upon as a perfect stand-in for production. That is why you need a staging system. Recovery is a mirror of the production system that can be stood up or activated for use as required to handle production while a production system is unavailable to produce work. A recovery system must be kept in perfect sync with the production environment to ensure that when it is brought up, it will function perfectly in place of the production system. This diagram shows the preferred method for making any kind of changes to your production environment. Build and test applications in your dev test environment. Apply all operating system patches and software upgrades here. The staging environment should be kept in sync with the dev test as well. The difference is that it is a clean system without dev tools or other software that could impact production. Applications and any software or operating system upgrades are pushed to the staging environment where they are extensively tested. Once they've been validated in that environment, an image is made of the fully tested staging server environment. Any software or operating system upgrades are then made to the production environment to make it match. When migrating Solimar content, you should migrate the entire server rather than just moving an individual application. Following this simple flow can ensure that your production system is stable and up to date, reducing risk of any downtime because of upgrades. The Solimar support team has been around for a long time, and they've seen it all. Here are some of the best and worst practices straight from them. Any upgrades made to your production environment without being fully tested in staging creates a risk that something will break. Databases, operating system patches, drivers, networking, really anything has the possibility of disrupting production. Some of these upgrades are very hard to back out. If staging is identical to production and it passes testing there, you can safely and confidently push work into production. Customers who don't have a staging environment are forced to push applications directly from dev test into production. This can be risky. Many times, dev test environments have tools, libraries, and other components that are not available in staging and production. So the developer runs the app and it works fine there. They push it into production and it doesn't work because of a missing or a different version of a library installed as part of the development environment. Remember, these environments can be complicated. Pushing apps to a staging environment and beating it up there allows you to catch issues there, not in production. Finding out the hard way may mean on the shop floor after it's printed, or worse yet, in the customer's hands. Disaster is no time to test your disaster recovery process. It must be exercised and practiced on a regular basis to ensure that the people, processes, and technologies are all working. Calling for after-hour support could be an awkward and expensive way to get things running again. The safe route is to make a full copy of your Solimar server, pushing that to a shared storage location. It will always be available should you need to stand up a recovery server at another location. Regularly rehearsing DR procedures is necessary, not just for the technology, but especially for the people involved in the process. Let's wrap up with some environmental best practices. Be diligent about keeping all of your environments in sync. Plan for upgrades. Try to find off-peak times or times when you can have planned downtime. Build comprehensive regression testing. Automate as much of it as possible. Make sure you have coverage for as many applications or scenarios as possible. Tribal knowledge is no substitute for good documentation. Documenting and testing all of your IT processes makes bringing in new resources and managing DR in different geographies much easier.